You go from zero to gone in about a second, and then you sit in the quiet afterward wondering who that was. You know the move. One word from someone who does not even matter, a bad message, a look, and the switch flips, and you are already 3 sentences into something you cannot take back before you notice you were angry at all. And you have told yourself the story that you just have a temper, that it runs in the family, that this is your wiring. I want to hand you a different story because the temper one has kept you stuck for years. You do not have an anger problem. You have a translation problem. Here's what almost no one told you as a boy. You were allowed exactly one emotion, anger. Anger looked like strength, so anger was permitted. But fear, hurt, shame, loneliness, disappointment, the whole rest of the human range, those look like weakness, so you learned to bury them, or more often, to run them through the one channel that was open. So now, when you feel small, it comes out as anger. When you feel scared, it comes out as anger. When you are hurt by someone you love, it comes out as anger, because anger is the only language your emotions were ever given a passport to speak. You are not an angry man. You are a man feeling a dozen things through the only door that was ever unlocked. Let me name the real skill, because the word intelligence throws men off. Emotional intelligence is not being soft, and it's not talking about your feelings all day. It is literacy. It is the plain ability to look at what's moving in you and put the correct word on it. Instead of a generic surge, you can only call mad or fine. That is it. And you are not dumb for not having it. Nobody taught you. No one sat a boy down and said, that tightness in your chest before you snapped, that was fear. Name it, and it loses half its grip. You were handed a rich internal world and one crayon to describe all of it. Of course, everything you draw comes out the same color. And look at what that costs, because it is not abstract. The people closest to you do not experience your fear or your hurt. They only ever meet the anger it got translated into. Your kid does not see a scared father, he sees a sharp one and learns to go quiet. Your partner does not see a man in pain. She sees a wall and slowly stops reaching. You end up alone inside feelings nobody around you can even see, because the only version that ever makes it out the door is the one wearing the mask. That is the real bill for the missing skill, not the outburst, the distance. Here's the turn, and there is real science under it, though I will spare you the lecture. When you put an accurate word on a feeling, the feeling gets quieter. Not gone, quieter. The part of your brain that fires the alarm actually settles when the part that names things comes online. Naming is not venting, and it is not weakness. Naming is you taking the wheel back from a reaction that was about to drive. The man who can say to himself, I am not angry, I am ashamed, or I am not mad at her, I am scared this is slipping, has already done the hardest thing. He turned a blind surge into information he can actually act on. So here's the one move, and it costs you nothing but a breath. The next time you feel the switch start to flip, before you speak, before you send it, before you go cold, ask one question. What is actually under this? Not to fix it, not to talk about it, just to name it. Silently, honestly. Is that really anger, or is it fear wearing anger's coat? Is that rage, or is it hurt that had nowhere else to go? Put one true word on it. That single word, in that single second, is the whole skill in miniature. You are going to miss it. Plenty of times the surge will be 3 sentences out before you remember to ask. That is fine, and it is expected. You spent your whole life with one channel open, and you do not rewire that in an afternoon. But every time you catch it, every time you name the thing under the anger instead of firing the anger, the channel widens a little, and the gap between feeling and reacting grows. And one day, you notice you did not send the text, you just felt the fear and let it be fear. That is not softness. That is a man who finally reads his own instruments instead of being flown by them. Do not wait to feel calm and wise before you try this. You build the calm by naming the storm while it is still loud. The next surge, ask what is under it. Put one honest word on it, and let that word be the thing you act from. You found a mentor here, not a man telling you to just relax. I am not going to tell you to stop feeling. I am going to teach you to read what you feel, so it stops running your life from the dark. If this hit you, subscribe and ride with us daily. No comfort, just discipline.
Subscribe. Tomorrow, you drive stronger.